Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. Today I want to talk about the first updates on the Witchhunter, the Space Marine character, currently level 73 and progressing through the tier 3 maps, almost done, pushing into tier 4 maps. And I'm gonna say every day I play this build, I enjoy it way more than the day before, and it's turning out to be very, very awesome. GGG has posted some patch notes and bug fixes and whatnot. And that's why I want to do this video, just talking about the new setup that I'm using here, because the Herald bug got nerfed, or at least I wouldn't say bug, but, you know, yesterday I used Herald of Thunder and Herald of Ice using the Lightning Infusion gem, which is somewhere over here. So I got 25% more damage, or damage is extra lightning for all of my abilities while Herald of Thunder was on, and I did the same with Herald of Ice with the Cold Infusion. That was obviously something that would probably not be intended, and guess what? Today it has been fixed now. These support gems don't work anymore for the Heralds, or at least only for the skill gem. So I'm not mad about it. It was kind of obvious that they're gonna fix it quite fast, and it's literally a couple hours after I posted the video. Not saying that I had to do something with it, but you never know. Good. What has changed? I spent actually quite some currency today upgrading some stuff. I did buy the medium jeweler orb and made my galvanic shards a 5-link now. The reason for that is basically I'm using this skill 99% of the time. I don't really need my single target anymore with shocking rounds and plasma burst, so I have good damage. But that's why I said, like, you know what, I'd rather upgrade my clearing skill, because this is what I'm using like most of the time. So let's go over the skill tree. So in this video, we're going to go over the skill tree, the equipment, the upgrades that I've done, the skill tree and stuff like that. And then we're going to run a map so you see some gameplay, as well as I think I found a map with a boss so you see the single target as well, which is somewhere, I think... over here is a boss. So here the contains deadly map boss. Okay, so what happened to my skills here? I'm using the galvanic shards with primal armament, conduction, fork, and lightning infusion. Then we use the shock burst rounds with alley focus, conk effect, and martial tempo. A plasma burst with ambush, inevitable critical, and the long shot. Then we have emergency reload with premeditation, persistence, and ingenuity. Then I use wind dancer with precision, herald of thunder with maim, herald of ash, and voltaxic mark. Why herald of ash? Basically, I had the spirit left over, and since this one needs quite a decent amount of strength, so I have mine on level 10, I cannot go further because then I would even need more strength. I mean, I have more strength now, so I could potentially just upgrade that, but there is no downside of having it, and it looks kind of cool. And Wind Dancer is better, is pretty much the... yeah, like a defensive bonus with more evasion rating, and yeah, so why not having that for a little bit of extra defense? Good, let's take a look at the skill tree. I'm still on my 2-life trial with the Culling Strike and the Decimating Strike. I changed quite a bit on the top side because I needed some points, and the problem here is that a lot of these... oh, just selling my old bow. That is very nice. Sir, oh, there's a low baller, I guess. So I changed a lot of these points over here, just because I needed a lot of attributes. As you see here, strength, 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 and I even had to take an entire cluster here for attributes, because my new bow needs like 106 strength and dexterity. No, thank you. So, basically... what happened here is I was removing a couple points. I just kind of forgot where I'd take them out. I think this cluster over here and those kind of points over here. So I took like the shorter route here to save some skill points. And I removed the lightning pen over here because that was 3 points or 5 points. So if you go this way and here is only 1 point to connect that. So I said, like, I'm fine without this penetration. And once I level up and get better... on my stats, basically better items with more attributes with strength and dexterity mainly, then I can remove all of that. Then I spend a few points getting these extra jewel slots, because I think jewel slots are very nice. Here we have attack speed with crossbows, shock magnitude, lightning pen, attack speed. Here I have like something... yeah, similar here with like crossbow reload speed even on these jewels. And I think for spending like 1 point to get these stats, I think is always worth taking. So I spent like this extra point over here, and I did actually in the start, before I used this attribute cluster, I also spent this extra point over here to get another jewel slot. So I need to check where is like the next jewel slot and if it's worth taking, because like for 1 point and these stats is definitely better than any attribute node or any small node that you can find on a tree. And the rest, I think, is pretty much the same. Oh, one important change that I've done here is the Kitokos current, which are lightning damage from hits contributes to electrocution buildup. And electrocution is very, very strong, okay? It kind of like stuns the enemy, and there is some notes over here where enemies you electrocute have 20% increased damage taken. That's like a more multiplier. So it is very, very, very strong, and you're going to see in the map showcase that as soon as I blast into a pack, either it dies one shot or they are all electrocuted. So I assume that's going to be next on the nerfing list because I think it is very, very strong, but who knows. Good. That's about the skill tree. Let's take a look at the gear. The entire gear is the same besides my weapon and the gloves. So all of these items are life resistance items, and some of them have like stats like all attributes, intelligence, whatever I needed, because this build needs so much strength and dexterity. I think I can let go of a lot of intelligence since I'm not using Herald of Ice anymore, but I need to check. But as you saw on my skill tree, I need to spend a lot of points for strength just because the crossbows need so much strength, right? But my gloves had actually cold resistance, so I'm not capped on that anymore, so I need to fix that in the upcoming, like gearing upgrades. But as I said, the gloves for the lightning, the electrocution buildup, you're gonna see that how big and insane that is. And my weapon is now this Stormco, which is about a 420 DPS kind of weapon with +4 to all projectiles and an insane amount of 4.86 critical hit chance. So that is like just as a comparison to my old weapon over here. So this is my old one, had like about 370 DPS without any crit or anything like that, right? So let's take a look on how this one... I'm always checking on the base damage over here, right? From the auto attack, not really the skill damage. But you're gonna see here we have like 4.5k, and with a new weapon we're going up to 8.2. So almost doubles my damage with this upgrade, and it feels really, really fucking good. So... I don't think there's anything else to talk about the current gearing process. I wasn't planning to make an update video, but or at least an update video, yes, but not today. But there has been changes, and my gem setup and so on changed. And since my last showcase of the build was somewhere at the end of the campaign, now I want to actually show that how this build looks like in currently a T3 map, which is my current progression. So let's take this one over here with Expedition and a map boss. Having here increased pack size and 25 life is extra ES. Let's see how that goes. And you're gonna see Herald of Ash looks pretty cool with the explosions, and the cleric is also like very, very good. So let's see. The plus skills are actually quite a nice damage upgrade, but the mana cost goes up tremendously, right? But the good thing on this build, we don't really have any mana issues, because the only time we actually spend mana, and here is the electrocution. See that? Monsters are just stunned in place. And it's actually like a very good defensive layer, because I just shoot in there one single time, and either the monsters die one shot, or they're just electrocuted. Like this guy over here. So the mana cost. The thing is, only reloading and changing the ammo basically costs mana, right? So if I go into the galvanic shards and actually, swapping the ammo doesn't even cost mana, but reloading costs mana. So if you go for plus level of skills, be aware that the mana cost of reloading goes up. I personally don't think it's too insane from the mana cost, because I barely ever use a mana flask, and I still would have that if I need so, but maybe like once a map that I'm actually using a mana flask if the mana goes down too fast, but I still have like a good amount of regen. And since, before I forget it, I also spent a couple of Gemcutter's Prison and upgraded my Galvanic Shards to have now 20% quality. Takes like 4 Gemcutter's Prison, and the good thing is, if you go to ammunition, you see that the quality gives you 1 bolt per 10% quality, so we now have a total of 7 instead of 5 bolts to shoot, which is definitely like a nice quality of life upgrade. But as you see from the clearing aspect, it just looks so freaking beautiful with Herald of Thunder and Herald of Ash, with a big spread and chain and pierce and fork and whatnot. I mean, it's not those support gems, but the fork and everything. It just looks very, very beautiful, and the clearing aspect, at least I personally have not seen a build that is clearing that nice. But what do I know? I just played like a total of 3 builds in total, and I barely have the time to watch anybody others' content, right? So here we should be at the boss. Let's group up those monsters and freaking annihilate them. And I think that's somewhere from the first quest, so there should be like some bone spikes coming down. There they are. Oh, holy shit. Okay, shock the monster, switch the rounds. Boom, boom. And boss is dead. I almost got like nuked down here with the... Maybe the Gale Force is actually saving my ass there. Damn, but as you saw, a single target is definitely on the nice side, I would assume, because as I just said, like, I don't really have a lot of experience with other builds and how much insane DPS those have. I just know all the builds that were insane in terms of single target and overall damage, like the cast on crit builds, everything that is a cast on crit, cast on freeze, cast on whatever got completely annihilated. All these like Comet builds are all dead now, which is kind of insane. And I know that the gas grenade explodey thing got also nerfed already. And I think there is some other builds on the chopping block as well, if you ask me. So I see it this way. If my build is like a top 10 build and the top 3 builds are all gonna get nuked, then my build is all of a sudden a top 7 build, because now there is, it hasn't changed, but it's, you know, the builds that are stronger than that got completely annihilated, so that's a plus for me. All I can say is I'm really freaking enjoying this build. Really gives me some PoE 1 vibes with all the explosions and everything. I really enjoy that one, so that's why I can definitely recommend playing a build like that. Obviously, doing here a T3 map is not like the pinnacle of end game here, but you know, this is my current state of my progression, so what am I supposed to do? I cannot show you a T15 map if I don't have one, right? So, let's nuke this one. I would like to have a better indication of shock, honestly, because I always need to mouse over to see if the monster is shocked. It's not. Now it's shocked, switching rounds and just nuke it down, and the map is complete. But we're still gonna do the expedition real quick. Let me quickly do these kind of monster here. I don't even know. We just take anything and hope there is no bad things. Chaos damage, we don't deal chaos damage. Let's activate that. Let's let the monster spawn so we have some nice monster density going. And I do have actually the Voltaxic Mark, which is quite good because it helps our shock build-up and everything, but I never use it, honestly. And to be fair, I was trying out a cast on shock with Voltaxic Mark, which works, but after the changes, it's so bad, man. I need like half a map. Oh shit, that explosion actually made me lag a little bit. I'm just gonna say that the cast on crit procced like twice an entire map, so what is the point, man? If I really need it, I could manually cast it, and that would maybe something for bosses, but you saw my boss damage, and I also forgot to use the Voltaxic Mark, so technically it's definitely an upgrade, but if you never use it, it's whatever, I guess, right? I guess it would be some kind of like PUB thing, where you say like, hey, we put it in because it's a lot of damage, but realistically you're not really using it, right? So let's try to shock that monster as well. But as you see, most of the monsters I'm just literally killing without even using my single target ability, because I currently have so much damage, and this is basically the end of the map, and as you saw, really freaking good, at least of what I can tell. I hope you guys enjoyed this little update video. I'm like playing every day on Twitch. If you want to check that one out, if you want to leave a follow there and see my progression, if you have or if you have like questions to the build or anything where I can maybe help. And other than that, trying to be active and farming up, and then show you guys more gameplay footage, item path, gearing, and so on and so forth. And if nerfs come in or I do some changes in terms of the gems and stuff like that, I'll let you know as well. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.